As you take your steps in this struggle, the losses of the past have not weakened you. On the contrary, they have prepared you for today. Now, the stage is yours. They are waiting for your move because that final touch will be the beginning of a new era. Despite all obstacles, it is you who will rewrite history at the top. Write 444 in the comments now. Don't just be a spectator, be a part of the story. With your support, we will become a giant family of 5,000 people. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, and join us. Because the chosen ones are always the architects of their own destiny when the moment of decision comes. Now is the time. The world is holding its breath, waiting for your move. Just as a farmer wakes one ordinary morning and discovers, to his awe, a golden crop rising up overnight after a season of drought, sometimes life delivers a moment so vivid it pulls you right out of the routine and makes your soul sit up and take notice. There's a hush, like the whole world is catching its breath, because something bigger is stepping onto the stage of your life. You didn't just stumble into another chapter, you've just walked into a divine turning point, the kind where the everyday gives way to the extraordinary and nothing stays hidden any longer. It's like walking through a field you thought was barren, only to find that seeds you'd forgotten you even planted have broken through the ground, bearing fruit in ways you never saw coming. There are moments God chooses to swing open doors that have been locked so long you stopped knocking. Suddenly, what was held back, tucked away, or left out of your reach is right in front of you, as if the heavens themselves decided the wait was over. This isn't just some random day circled on a calendar. It's the appointed time, the moment all the quiet sacrifices and silent prayers begin to make sense. The wind of change has finally shifted in your direction, and you can feel it in your bones. Even if nobody else knows what's happening, you sense that your story is being rewritten right before your eyes. All those mornings when you wondered if your effort was wasted, all those nights when it seemed like you were praying into an empty sky, were actually paving a highway for the breakthrough that's now at your doorstep. Destiny isn't a stranger passing through town. It's the friend who's been waiting for you to be ready, the host setting the table for your arrival. Every so-called ordinary moment was stacking up, quietly, one on top of another, until the weight of blessing became too heavy to hide. You may have felt forgotten while the world kept spinning, like everyone else got their answer, and you were left holding the question. But now the sky is clearing, the clouds are parting, and the sunlight you've been longing for is pouring out on your field. This is not just a new season, chosen one. It's a divine reset, a holy appointment that's been marked in heaven long before you saw the signs on earth. Like a mountain lake that's been frozen solid all winter, suddenly breaking free under the warmth of spring, everything that's been locked away is now flowing toward you with a force that cannot be dammed up any longer. What was meant to be delayed is now being delivered. What was hidden is being revealed. The time you thought was wasted is being redeemed in the blink of an eye. Legends, miracles, prophecies. Subscribe to see what history forgot. You may have heard people say, breakthroughs come when you least expect them. But in your heart, you always carried a quiet hope, a seed of faith, buried deep, that refused to die, no matter how dry the soil got. And now, that seed is bursting through, not because of luck or chance, but because you dared to believe when everyone else was giving up. You held on when there was nothing left to hold but a promise. And now, that promise is blossoming for all to see. The world will try to tell you it's all coincidence, that these things just happen. But those who walk by faith know better. You know that when the atmosphere shifts, when everything suddenly lines up after years of nothing, it's because the hand of the divine has moved. You are not standing in this moment by accident. The harvest is yours because you refuse to walk away from the field. The answer is here because you kept knocking when the doors stayed shut. Sometimes life looks like it's passing you by. Sometimes it feels like your invitation got lost in the mail, and all you have left are memories of what could have been. But there is a power greater than circumstance, a hand stronger than any closed door. And that hand has chosen this moment to bring you into the fullness of what was always meant for you. Don't miss what's happening right now. Don't downplay it. This is your season to stand up, to stretch your faith, and to welcome the change you've been praying for. The tables are turning, the tides are shifting, and all of heaven is orchestrating the details. The pain you've walked through was not for nothing. The waiting was not wasted. The delay was preparation. In the same way that a caterpillar surrenders to the darkness of the cocoon, not knowing it's about to emerge with wings, you are stepping into a life you've never known. The old limitations are falling away. What kept you small is losing its grip. This is not just recovery, it's transformation. Chosen one, your life is a testimony that God is never late. He's always on time, even when your clock says otherwise. All the pieces you thought were scattered are coming together now, clicking into place with a perfection you couldn't have planned. Every heartbreak is being healed. Every disappointment is being turned to celebration. Every no you endured was simply making room for a bigger yes than you could have imagined. It's as if you're walking through a house you've lived in all your life, a place you thought you knew inside and out, only to stumble upon a hidden stairwell behind an old tapestry. You push aside the fabric, and a new world opens up. A vault filled with blessings, waiting in silence for the right time to be found. It's not a fairy tale, it's the divine setting the stage, revealing that you were always meant to receive what's been set aside for you. Sometimes, blessings grow like seeds pressed deep into the soil, silent, unseen, and undisturbed by the world above. There comes a day when the earth itself can't contain what's been planted and the sprout breaks through, greeting the sun. That's what it feels like when provision, long held in darkness, suddenly rises up and takes its place in your story. You didn't just find a forgotten coin under the couch. You discovered a treasure chest with your name engraved on the lock. And now you're left standing with more questions than answers. Who painted over this door in your house? Who chose silence over sunlight? For whose comfort or fear or profit was this abundance kept from you? You start to realize this wasn't just about dollars and cents. It was about a spiritual inheritance, a confirmation that there is a hand bigger than any obstacle, a purpose deeper than any plan you could have written for yourself. The revelation is almost dizzying. Like a river that's been dammed up for years, your provision is breaking free all at once, washing away old limits, flooding the valley of your life with new possibility. The dust that settled on your name is being swept away by winds of justice, and the records that held back your blessing are being rewritten in real time. Why now? Why here? Chosen one, it's because there's a season for everything. The farmer doesn't reap the harvest in winter. He waits until the fields are ready, until the grain is full, until the sun says, it's time. God has kept your inheritance under cover, not to punish you, but to prepare you, to ensure you'd have the strength and wisdom to steward it well. And let's be honest, if this blessing had been handed to you in a different chapter, would you have seen its value? Would you have used it for healing? Or would it have slipped through your fingers like water? Sometimes, what feels like delay is actually divine timing, training your hands, toughening your heart, teaching your spirit to hold what others would squander. You stand now at the crossroads between what was withheld and what is revealed. The silence that surrounded this provision is giving way to a chorus of truth. No longer will you wonder if you're worthy. No longer will you question whether you're seen. The Creator who counts every hair on your head has been counting the days until you'd be ready for this unveiling. This isn't just about financial abundance. It's a key to a new room in your destiny, a sign that the universe has not overlooked you. Every closed door, every season of lack, every unanswered prayer has led to this unveiling. The wall of silence wasn't built by accident. Maybe it was fear. Maybe it was envy. Maybe it was those who believed you would never find your way. But walls can't stand forever when God is ready to bring you through. You are not the sum of what was hidden from you. You are the child of the one who brings light into every dark corner, who knows how to turn the page at just the right time. This moment is proof that the story was always bigger than you realized. So, shake off the dust. Step through that secret door. Claim what has been reserved for you with boldness and humility. Let your heart be full, not with questions about who kept you out, but with gratitude that you have finally been brought in. The resources you're uncovering are not just for you. They are meant to flow through you, to bless others, to leave a legacy that outlives your own hands. Remember, when the curtains of heaven part, it's never by accident. It's always on purpose. And the God who waited with you in the shadows is now walking with you into the light. Celebrate, chosen one. The hidden has been revealed. The provision is yours. And the best chapters are just beginning to be written. It's like a lantern covered with a heavy cloth. No matter how thick the fabric or how careful the one hiding it, sooner or later, the light starts to leak through. Some blessings in life are not simply lost in the attic or left behind on the side of the road. They are tucked away on purpose by someone who was more concerned with their own shadows than with your sunrise. Maybe they were afraid your new day would shine brighter than theirs. Maybe they let their own disappointments speak louder than their conscience. For reasons known only to them and God, they decided to close the shutters, to hush the good news, and to tuck your favor away in a forgotten drawer. Unlock the doors of ancient faith. Subscribe for new episodes every week. But here's the truth, simple and strong as the rising sun. Light always finds a crack. The day may start dark, but you can't keep the morning from coming. Those who thought they could bury your blessing, thinking you'd never notice, underestimated the nature of destiny. You are not just anyone. You are marked for more. What's for you has a way of waiting, even in silence. The things you were meant to carry have a pull that even secrecy can't outlast. There's a spiritual law at work that's older than any scheme or silent agreement. Just as a seed sown in the cold earth waits for its time to rise, so do the gifts meant for your life. Even if others try to cover them up, God Himself keeps watch over every buried hope. The ones who put the lock on your treasure forgot that every lock has a key and heaven keeps perfect records. Nothing slips through the cracks in God's accounting. Sometimes the people who should have cheered for you the loudest were the first to whisper doubt. Maybe they felt threatened by your calling, or maybe they saw in you what they never found in themselves. So instead of opening doors, they built walls. Instead of ringing the bell, they turned down the volume. But you see, chosen one, walls built by men are no match for the wind of the Spirit. When God says it's time, no amount of silence or secrecy can stop what's coming for you. Life has a way of returning what's been withheld. A river may be dammed for a season, but when the floodgates open, the waters rush stronger for the waiting. Every hidden opportunity, every blessing put on ice, is gathering interest in heaven's vault. There's a promise written over your life. Nothing meant for you will pass you by. It might sit in the shadows for a while, but the moment comes when the curtain is pulled back and everything meant for you is brought into the light. You see, this isn't about revenge or bitterness. It's not about holding grudges or keeping a record of wrongs. It's about trusting that divine justice always has the last word. Those who tried to shade your journey may have thought they held the pen, but God is the true author, and He loves plot twists. He knows how to take what was meant to keep you small and turn it into the very thing that launches you forward. Let this season teach you, nothing stays hidden forever, not when God is your keeper. Truth might walk slowly, but it never loses its way. At the right time, in the right way, every blessing, every favor, every piece of good news that was once smothered by someone else's silence will step boldly into the light of your new day. So lift your eyes. Your story isn't defined by the chapters others tried to skip, but by the ending God wrote long before you knew there was a battle for your blessing. If you ever wondered why things were delayed, why favor seemed to pass you by, remember that sometimes God lets the best wine wait at the bottom of the barrel. You haven't missed your moment. Your moment has been maturing in the dark, ripening for a revelation only heaven could arrange. When the lid comes off, it won't just be a trickle, it'll be a flood, more than you imagined, more than you were told to expect. And you'll stand there, chosen one, as living proof that nothing hidden by man can stay hidden from the plans of God. Sometimes life can feel like wandering through a desert, searching for water when all you see is dry ground and scorched earth. Year after year, you dig and dig, but your hands come up empty. The seeds you planted look like they vanished beneath the dust, your hopes lost to time. You pray in the quiet, you speak to the sky, but the silence stretches so long, you wonder if your words even rise above the ceiling. It's easy to believe you've been forgotten when all you see is what you lack. But God works like a master gardener, tucking bulbs into the cold earth when winter is still in charge, knowing full well that a season will come when those hidden flowers burst through the frozen ground. What's unfolding now isn't just a stroke of luck or some passing favor. No, it's the fruit of every silent hope you dared to whisper. Every night you stayed faithful, even when the sun refused to rise. It's as if heaven itself kept a ledger, writing down every loss, every heartbreak, every tear you cried in the dark, and turning them into a harvest that couldn't be stolen, only delayed. Chosen one, you are not standing in an accident. You are standing in a moment that was marked out for you, a delivery set aside until you could handle the weight of what's arriving. When your hands felt empty, God was filling up storehouses out of sight, setting aside the best grain for the year when famine would have finished someone else. You thought nothing was happening, but the truth is, everything was being arranged with your name written in invisible ink. Life's not random, not for the called and the faithful. Imagine a vault in the clouds, locked tight until the right moment, overflowing with everything you ever thought you lost. People may have looked at you and seen someone bypassed by blessing, but God saw someone being prepared for more. The years that felt like waste were really seasons of storage, every disappointment tucked away and added to your account, waiting for the hour when you'd need it most. See, restoration doesn't come as a handout. It comes as a homecoming. The very ache that made you doubt your worth was the hunger that made room for God's abundance. And now, as doors swing wide and the truth comes out, you realize that what you grieved over wasn't buried. It was preserved. Every missed opportunity, every closed door, every not yet was really a not never. Your cries didn't vanish into thin air. They seeded the clouds for a rain you couldn't predict, a downpour meant just for you. Let this moment remind you that heaven keeps perfect records. Not a single dream was lost, not a prayer ignored. You were being saved up for. There are blessings that belong to you alone. No one else's fingerprints on them, no one else's signature at the bottom. You may have watched others get their reward first, but your portion was waiting for the fullness of time. Because your calling was greater than a quick payout. The world teaches that what's gone is gone. But for the chosen, God writes IOUs in eternity's ledger, promising that what was withheld will be returned with interest. You're not picking up crumbs from under the table. You're about to sit at a banquet that's been waiting for you since before you could spell your own name. This is bigger than just getting a break. This is justice catching up to you. Divine repayment, not a lottery win. Every time your gut whispered that something was out of place, you were hearing the quiet voice of destiny. All those moments when you felt you were meant for more, when it seemed like an invisible ceiling pressed you down. Those feelings weren't daydreams. They were early warnings, nudges from above, letting you know that there was more in store. The blessings being revealed today are the visible proof of the seeds you kept planting, even when the field looked barren. They are the receipts for the faith that you dared to keep alive. This is not a season to shrink back. The silence has ended, and now is the hour to speak what your spirit has always known, that you are ready for every good thing that was promised. Declare your willingness to step forward, to let the fullness of this moment reach you. Open your hands wide and make it known to the world. I am ready to receive, because when you do, the doors that once refused to budge will swing open for you. Everything that's coming to you now is not by chance or luck. It's the reward for having stood strong when it would have been easier to quit. The universe took note of your quiet persistence, your willingness to press on through late-night doubts, through unanswered prayers, through the storms that seemed to never end. This restoration is not a random act of kindness. It's a direct response to every sacrifice that went unseen, every tear that was wiped away in secret. All the years of being overlooked, all the manipulation and deceit that kept you waiting, are being set right. Every wrong move by those who schemed against you is being exposed, and every hidden thing is being brought out into the sunlight. The scales are balancing now. For every time you were told no, for every closed door, a new window of opportunity is being flung open wide. You know what it's like to feel alone in the battle, to shoulder a burden that few could see or understand. But those long nights and quiet cries didn't go to waste. The struggles were not a punishment, but a purification, a way of making you ready to handle what's arriving now. The universe honors the warriors who don't turn away when things get hard, and you have proved yourself again and again. The blessings you are about to hold are matched to the battles you survived. Every hardship was a lesson. Every letdown was a stepping stone. The universe doesn't entrust abundance to just anyone. It goes to those who have been prepared, who have had their motives tested, in the fire. You have been shaped, not broken, by your journey. Now comes the part where reward meets readiness. There were plenty of times you wondered if it was all in vain, if the effort was worth it, if you'd ever see the fruit of your labor. But now, the harvest is showing up, not just as hope, but as reality. What was once invisible, your quiet sacrifices, your acts of generosity, your prayers for others, has become visible. It's all coming back multiplied, showing you that the universe does keep accounts, and not a single act of faith has gone unnoticed. You may not know every face that played a part in keeping you from your blessing, but there were forces determined to keep you in the dark. Whether by deceit or manipulation, some felt more comfortable keeping your light under a basket. But as the days turn, the masks drop, and what was done in the shadows is being undone by the brightness of the truth. The universe always has a way of returning what was stolen, restoring not just what was taken, but adding more for the trouble. You can't afford to let every voice into your sacred space. Not everyone who smiles at you is rooting for your victory. Now is the time to build fences, to protect what's unfolding in your life, and to trust that the universe will sift the wheat from the chaff. Speak protection over your journey, and only let those who honor your story stand close. There are those who go beyond surviving. They become the ones who rewrite what is possible. You're not meant to blend in with the crowd. There's a calling on your life to be a builder of new realities, to stand where others have fallen, to open doors for those who never knew they were locked. The company you keep will change as you rise, drawing in dreamers and doers who will help build what's next. Your blessings are precious. Guard them as you would a rare treasure. It's easy to want to share every detail, to shout your good news from the rooftops, but sometimes the wisest thing is to move in silence until the foundation is firm. Let your life speak for itself, and let your actions reveal the depth of your gratitude. Let hesitation be a thing of the past. There's no reason to doubt now. Every closed chapter, every broken promise, every door slammed in your face has only made you bolder. Stand up and claim the fullness of what is being given. Tell the world, my future is here, and I am ready for it. Take the step. Don't look back. Behind every miracle is a message. Subscribe and discover them with us. There's a reason this gift comes to you. You have an assignment greater than comfort, greater than accumulation. What you receive isn't just for you, but for the lives you'll impact, for the stories you'll help rewrite. Blessings flow through hands that are open to give as well as receive. Everything that's being restored to you is also the culmination of a story that began long before you were born. There are roots to this blessing that run deep, back to ancestors whose dreams went unrealized, whose sacrifices paved the way for your breakthrough. You are the answer to prayers spoken generations ago. You are the fulfillment of hope that never died. Don't let the gift stop with you. Use what you gain to build, to restore, to lift others out of struggle. Let your blessing become a fountain that waters dry ground, that renews tired spirits, that proves to others that transformation is possible. The echo of this moment will ripple out far beyond your own life. Change begins with a choice to believe that more is possible. Set your heart in agreement with this new reality. Walk forward in assurance. The story doesn't end at breakthrough. It begins there. This is the season of growth, of abundance, of impact. Let the world see what happens when faith is met with opportunity. When the old limits are shattered, don't slip back into old ways. Step up to the calling on your life. knowing that every delay was preparation, every struggle was training, every loss was an invitation to something greater. Give thanks for every obstacle. It shaped you for this moment. This is not about surviving another day. It's about living with purpose. What was hidden has been revealed, and the future is wide open. Honor every lesson, every teacher, every challenge that helped you arrive here. Gather up the wisdom, bless your journey, and keep moving forward.